What are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Quit picking your nose, Clark. Let's go. Look alive. Coming to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now is the time where myself and Jim are going to speak. Ta-da-da!
Well, Jim.
Hey, Brady.
You went to Vegas this weekend, didn't invite me.
It was for family only.
Oh, well, wait.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, no. I meant the family that we like.
Okay, good to know. And speaking of family that I like, Emily.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm here.
You always, like, every week you say that you're here.
Quiet.
Like,
I'm always excited.
Can you
turn up your mic a little bit.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Everyone's going to think that
I'm
we keep you in a
always too
dark
quiet.
closet.
There you
Is
go.
that better?
That's a little bit better. What have you been up to this week, Emily? I know Jim went to... Did you go to Vegas with Jim, or did you get left out too?
Yeah, I got left out.
Wait, who'd you go with?
With Mike D.
Okay. I didn't know that Mike also went.
No,
so.
I went for our fantasy football draft, the big one, because everyone's all over the country now.
Did you pick Andrew Luck?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Within an hour after we drafted, Andrew Luck and Lamar Miller both went down. So,
all right, well, good.
I did not, but I did get in some good ribs, and I felt good about making fun of others. By putting them down, it made me feel better.
Good.
So
all right, it's
there's
usually
that.
the most healthy way of
so there's that.
getting over things.
Absolutely.
Cool. I had a pretty uneventful week. This has been did
you get sleep?
The biggest sporting week in the state of Utah history.
This week? What's this
well, Utah State is playing Wake Forest on Friday. It's a pretty big deal.
Big deal.
And Weber State's going to San Diego State. It's also another big deal.
Interesting. See what they do against the big school.
And Southern Utah plays UNLV.
Okay.
So like a lot of
big
these
games.
Big games. And then there's also this one down in Provo tomorrow.
Oh, they still playing football?
Yeah, Utah, the college here in Salt Lake City is playing.
I'm sure I'll hear something about it.
The religious school in Provo. So
being that I am a huge BYU fan, I really am. That's the funny thing.
We also have not one, but two guests.
Yeah, you threw a little surprise at me.
Well, you told me to invite everybody.
Yeah, I did, and you did. So
it worked.
We had our scheduled guest,
Marlon.
Hello,
Marlon. Before we move on to our next guest, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, how you got on here, and how you got in the doors.
How'd that happen?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I got in at a really young age.
Okay.
How'd you get on the show?
On this show? How did
I'm kidding, dude.
It's like he just showed up, said I'm supposed to be here, and we're like, all right, sure, yeah, let's go for it.
I just want to come and chill. I started at a very young age. My name is Marlon. I'm a director. I'm an actor, but I'm not a really good one.
Is Gonz your actual last name, or is it short?
Gonzalez.
So what are you under IMDb under?
It's been a while since I've touched that.
How old are you, like 12?
20.
All right, so you got a few ages. Mm-hmm. So there is. So can I find some of your stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
go to Marlon Gonz?
No, I don't want to go there now.
All right, so
I just meant
in the future.
In the future?
Yeah, like when I'm at home listening to this, enjoying some nice, some sweet toast.
Sweet toast.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Reminiscing
of the good times
back yesterday when we interviewed him.
Yeah.
Good
day.
Rather than be prepared
tomorrow.
It's been a while since I've touched my IMDb, to be honest with you. I haven't updated it completely.
Do you have a location where we can where most people can just kind of go and find?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it. I'll send.
You could tell them right here too.
All right, so
you've got their attention.
Let's see. What are some projects that I've been working on?
Yeah,
let's see.
Working on yourself, developing, or just.
Well, I don't know. I just finished a feature.
Okay.
Not too long ago. That I don't know if I can talk about it.
All right, that's fine.
You gonna get sued?
Well, no, my contract doesn't.
Getting sued's fun. You ever been sued?
He's 20.
I'm 20.
Okay.
So Not yet.
It'll happen, bud.
It'll happen.
I'm still waiting. But Marlon, we're happy to have you on.
Yeah, man.
We'll
get into that.
Glad to have you. But also we have the one, the only.
I'm sure that's a pretty common name, Dan. I'm sure there are other Dans in the world.
Farr. There are. And there's also Dan Farrs in Utah. Several.
Oh wow.
It sounds like a popular
But you're
name.
you're the guy that everyone changes their name because they're like,
away from it?
Yeah, you're just like, wow, he's so popular, I can't
Oh,
I can't be another Dan Farr. Like,
And of course, everyone knows you from Sharknado 4.
yeah, exactly. That was my big break.
You knew things were going the right direction.
Yes.
After the Sharknado came through.
And my head grew back. That's the thing that was nice. They had the shark ate my head off, and then it grew back.
Well,
what kind of experience was that like for you?
It was fun. Not the head growing back, but
Your head grew back?
Yeah, it grew
I'll
back.
be honest that my knowledge of Sharknado is not well in depth.
Well, sharks,
yeah,
NATO,
there's a tornado that hits the ocean and scoops up a bunch of sharks.
Okay.
Thus, Sharknado.
Yeah.
Then not only did that, like craziness happen, but now they're able to retain the sharks and go random places and attack.
Wow.
Because tornadoes, they just
hate people.
Yeah, they hate people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But also you are the
founder.
I was going to say director, founder of.
Make sure you say it right.
Salt Lake Comic Con? No.
Fanatic Salt Lake.
Yeah. Say it right, man.
Yeah.
What did I just say?
Yeah.
Fanax.
He's going to be like, those guys are jerks.
No. People can say what they want. It's just we're the ones that can't say that.
Yeah.
I thought they were the same thing.
They were.
We'll
talk after.
Yeah.
There was a. There's a
little
lawsuit. You're talking about being sued.
Getting sued.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, and it's still going on. I mean, it's still.
I know.
The outcome's not.
You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But if I, as just me being an outside observer who's just kind of paid attention and watched one festival kind of be like butthurt little babies, come up against another one rather than you think they'd help one another, but no. That's what I've seen from this side. If I was paying attention at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you on, Dan. Mainly because this weekend's my first.
Because ours is better, is why.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I've never been to one, but that's what I'm saying. It's like next weekend is my first Comic-Con FanX experience I've ever been to.
Okay.
Jim and I, we got press.
Yeah, that's right.
Press passes for next week.
Nice.
Can't get anybody to email us back about anything because we're the first year in, but that's okay.
Oh yeah.
We just wanted a little help with some of the guests. We don't want to bother anyone, so we were like, what's the best way to? And so we asked Jared, and then Jared said, call this guy. Yeah, no luck, but that's okay because
I'm just going for the experience.
Yeah,
I honestly, for those people, kind of give the basics pitch for why people should be going.
Why
to
don't
this.
you let him do it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Well, the experience is amazing. I was actually a vendor at some different events 10 years ago, and I didn't really know much about them. And I started going to them, and I got pulled into the energy of the event. And so when we decided to do it here, I looked and I tried to explain to people what the event was, and I realized it's so hard to explain in words what it is because
you're going to wait. What? You're going to bring people in?
Yeah, you bring celebrities in, you bring artists, comic book.
And people are going to pay to come see these celebrities?
Yeah, they'll buy autographs. What's going on there? Yeah,
and they will thank you for it.
Yeah, exactly. They will, and that experience really is just it's a celebration of fandom. Mm-hmm. That's the best way to think about it. And people celebrate whatever fandoms they're really into. One of the big surprises for me was how popular Doctor Who is.
My sister is cheering right now. She's a huge Doctor Who
fan. And that's the thing. It's probably one of the more passionate fan groups, and may not be the biggest fan group, but it's one that the fans of Doctor Who are just so into it.
They know their stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I was a week ago, I was sitting because Tamby, my little sister, she's always been like, you got to watch Doctor Who. You really like it. And I sat down one day. I was like, all right, just tell me about it. And she just goes in and just tells the full story. And I'm just like, this is.
Do you watch Marlon? Do you watch any Doctor Who?
I don't.
You don't have so I can't even ask you which one's your favorite Doctor?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Do you
have a doctor?
What's your nerd thing? What's the thing that you
see? I grew up watching Smallville. That's like the only.
So all right, I'll Smallville with you.
So
So they always said the entire time they're making Smallville that they wouldn't put Tom Welling into the suit.
There's the no.
But then they put Tom Welling in the suit.
Well, like in the very last episode.
But they said they weren't going to do it.
They lied.
They lied.
It's the same thing that happened with Gotham.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to do it. And then
they did.
Oh, the show's going to get canceled. We got to put Bruce Wayne in the suit.
Well, I used to watch the old Doctor Who's with Grandpa. Back when it was, when I was the remote control and he'd give you a thumbs up, means channel up, thumb down, and then when you got to the U, people don't understand our pain and our we had to there's a U channel to get to 30 and to get to there was one other up there
20,
somewhere.
20 was there. Yeah,
you just crank that sucker.
Yes,
and Grandpa would make me sit there, and we used to watch the old Doctor Who. So when it came back, I was like, yes.
Okay.
And but when Dave Tennant came in, that's when it all.
I like Dave Tennant.
Yeah.
In everything that I've seen him in, it's like, wow, it's
He's my favorite Doctor.
See?
He is. Yeah, I think he probably is the most popular Doctor.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know him
Then Matt
as
Smith probably second.
Yeah.
What do you think, Emily? Matt Smith?
Yeah. I mean, they're really passionate. I'm looking forward to seeing how they revamp this latest Doctor, because I know that season just kind of didn't do as well.
People are buttheads, though. I know I shouldn't say that, but people are buttheads. The fact that anyone was given crap about a woman doctor or a black James Bond or I just don't understand these people.
Yeah.
But if it's the same thing next season, that also the same people will come back
boring,
on. Why don't they change anything?
Yeah, they need to do something different.
They need
right?
to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
So get creative.
Get something.
So let me tell you a Matt Smith story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've had him at our event twice.
Of course.
His second time he came out, he and his manager went to Whole Foods, and there was a person there, a checker, helping as they're going through the line, and the person got really excited because they were hoping to be able to go to the event, but they couldn't do it, and so they had to work, whatever. Then Matt Smith shows up there because they wanted to go see Matt Smith. So they get up, the courage asks for, the guy gets up, courage asks for a photo op, and he gets in next to Matt, and then he just passes out. But it was he actually went into cardiac arrest.
What?
He did, and they called the paramedics and basically brought him back to life. But what happened, what came from, I mean, it's a terrible story, but it's a good story because he found out that he had certain problems.
Yeah, he needed help.
And so it actually, but
Matt Smith saved his life.
It saved his life, but he actually killed him first.
Wait,
and
here in Utah?
Yeah, here in Utah. Yeah, and it's something that's
cool.
You think about it, that experience, and then Matt actually reached out to this person after when he was through, in ICU, and they sent him some stuff, and they were really just.
Well, you can tell a genuine movie star from some of the, when they've been doing it that long. Sometimes you got it, and you can see that he's a good dude. Then it makes me happy when I hear he's a good dude, because I heard a lot of the stories of the guys that ain't good dudes.
Yeah, he was so shaken up the night that happened, because I ran into in the lobby of the hotel, and he says, "You won't believe what just happened." But it wasn't like, wow, it's not like he was anxious to share the news.
Yeah,
he was shaken up big time.
Wow.
And it's great that it had a happy ending on that. But
where are they now? That's what we should do. We should track that dude down.
Yeah,
Matt Smith?
No, not Matt.
Yeah,
one day we'll get to Matt. I mean, the dude that Matt killed.
Yeah, bring him back.
Bring him to us.
So I don't know if you can talk about it at all, but how'd you get Tom Holland to come to Salt Lake?
There's different ways we can book different people. Some celebrities will book directly. Obviously, Tom Holland's going to have layers and layers of people, and the agent we work with is a William Morris agency.
Okay,
and we've just year after year have asked about Tom, and there's several people that they have. Keanu Reeves, they have. I mean,
great.
Just some of the A-list celebrities for this type of event, and so we were specifically putting in an offer for Tom and just continue to stay persistent on it. Yeah. And it came together. But I'll say this, though, is the agent has a chance to pick, he can recommend to Tom and his team, like, oh, you should go to this one or this one. And the fact that we were one of the top choices was because the fans here are great. We have the best fans around.
Well, they do their homework too. They'll ask each other when they
do
who went. They'll say, is it legit, or am I showing up to, what am I going to? So the word and it's been around long enough. You can have that clout, which is cool.
And it's awesome too, because if you think about of up and coming stars or stars in America and the world right now, Tom Holland's probably in the short list of that
He's
that
at the
list.
top, yeah.
So you got, I would say Keanu Reeves is probably the most popular person.
He is
in movies right now, and
we have a standing offer on him forever. So yeah,
I would die to see Keanu Reeves in person. But yeah, and then obviously now, it's going to be a little bit more complicated now that he's coming in with all these Disney like backlash and stuff like that. Not backlash, but like them cutting ties with the Sony and stuff. So
it's never over.
It's never over. But like,
see.
Are you curious how that's going to play out when he comes here, or do you?
I think that he'll probably won't talk too much about it. Yeah, I think it'll be something.
Can't.
Yeah, he'll politely say that he's hoping the best thing will work out. I'm sure.
Well, and he has a few other movies coming out later this year that he's probably promoting. I saw the one with the. I went and saw. We'll get to it later on, but I went and saw The Farewell this weekend, and there's a movie he's coming out with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh wow!
And the guy that plays the bad guy in Man of Steel. What's his name? Oh heavens! My mind is breaking.
You talking the guy that plays Zool?
Yeah,
or not Zool,
Zod.
Yeah,
Shannon.
Michael
Shannon. So it's Michael Shannon, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's Tom Holland, and I believe, and the guy that plays Beast, Nicholas Hoult.
Okay,
yeah, all those guys in one movie, and I think Benedict he's the lead, and he's playing Thomas Edison. And
isn't it funny to get all those actors that are the superhero actors to play a story on Thomas Edison?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, and Benedict is he's an English man, but he's playing an American. In this, and like that's kind of the drawback with him and Doctor Strange is that like his like accent kind of floats back in. So I'm curious.
Hey, you leave him alone.
I love Benedict.
Back off.
Benedict is one of my favorite guys. I love to catch him in everything he's in. So I'm excited for this movie. I can't remember. I'll look it up while we talk a little bit more. But what else is coming up for Comic-Con? I bet you're insanely busy, kind of booking all this stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely right now we are in the heat of everything. And, people always ask me, "Hey, you ready for the show?" And like, well, not yet. I need another week, and then we'll be ready. But we're on track, and we've got a great lineup.
At some point, you have to just let it go and let it be what it is.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you can meddle and meddle and meddle, just like making a film.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like a filmmaker or an artist, you're going to. You can tweak something forever, but you have to just basically say, hey, this is going to be good enough.
And then that's it, because you're going to keep going if you do that.
You hope. You, as long as you're doing it right. I always say, like, every once in a while you'll get the wrong people get through, but they always get caught. And eventually, if you're doing the right stuff and you're a genuine person, you're going to find people hate you just because you're in the public. Yeah. But at the same time, your work ethic is going to say a lot, and in a business where people think this is a slick business, no man, you're really I think it means even more, because the second someone says, yeah, I met Dan Farr, and I hear, oh, did you? And I'm like, that's there's a hate level, then there's like, oh, he's doing what? Like, I never heard that part yet. So I guess you're not, Sharknado didn't get you that big yet. So.
No, yeah. Fortunately, I'm not there. Yeah, they wouldn't even give me a speaking role. So I wasn't able to speak. I came out, but they said, "Well, we're not sure with SAG. You're not SAG."
They can get around all that stuff. Yeah. You know why they didn't?
Why?
The pay scale.
The pay scale. Yeah.
Because if you said one word, they had to give you about 4 times the money they gave you at the time, and on the back end, they'd have to give you money.
Oh, there you go.
And that's why SAG. There's always ways around SAG. They lied to you, Dan.
Yeah, I feel cheated, but you know what? I got on there, so that was kind of fun to be able to.
The time the Sharknado guys lied to me.
Exactly.
So how did you book NSYNC? Because I heard they're like part of their.
Yeah, Joey Fatone is coming. Once again, there's this kind of network of managers and talent and things. So we had Joey Fatone come to the show. I guess it was about 2.5 years ago.
Also a good dude.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah.
Well, when he came last time, he was he set up. He had his autograph line, and he thought, you know what, this isn't exciting enough. So he hired a DJ to come in and bring a sound system, and then he started playing music in his line.
I was there.
You were there? Oh, yeah. Isn't that great?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about awesome, but it sounds cool.
Fun.
I mean, it's fun is the word, because he's still in sync.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to have some of that in me still. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I would take Justin Timberlake out on a date. Straight guy. Like, he's very talented. Sings better than me, better looking than me, better actor than me. But he still would be like, yeah, but that denim suit you wore in NSYNC. Like,
well, I think Lance Bass would. Is he part of the NSYNC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Lance Bass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we have Chris
Kirkpatrick
and Joey
cool,
coming.
though.
We did try to get Lance, but he wasn't available to come to the show. So, yeah.
So all right, well I'm gonna so we can do a little bit. I'm gonna a little bit different because I mean that's the fun thing is having someone like you. Everyone that's listened to us, they know who you are. Then we get to someone like you who's trying to get your name out there,
who's like.
But I think it's perfect because then you get to sit there like all of a sudden you start asking him questions. I'm like no man, we ask questions. You sit there, but I'm like so I'm gonna ask you both a couple questions real quick. Dan, we'll start with you because you're further away. What movies did you grow up on? Like, because obviously you started. So there had to have been. What movie is the one that spoke to you that said like this is different than just entertainment? Like this is something I want to do.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I all the movies that I used to watch as a kid, I was easily entertained. You know, I wasn't somebody that picked them apart and said, "Oh, well, this doesn't fit with that." But I'd say like Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. I love that. That's something that sticks with me. Star Wars, of course. Yeah, Mr. Jones. Yeah.
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones.
Indy.
Yeah, I do, and I hope they make another. And they're talking about making a fifth one.
I thought it was in production.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. And I hope John Rhys Davies will be in it. That would be good.
Well, just as long as Shia LaBeouf don't make an appearance back. All right, same question. What movie?
I grew up watching Singing in the Rain, Life is Beautiful.
How old are you?
Like 20. Yeah.
I was like, wait.
All these very old films, but classics, of course. Yeah, and that's kind of my...
Which one made you go, I want to do that?
Life is Beautiful. That one by far. I remember watching it.
Italian movie, right?
Yeah, Italian movie.
Okay.
I remember... Well, yeah, Italian movie. Yeah. I remember watching it and thinking, like, how good it must feel to make such a beautiful film.
Do you know what his next movie was?
I know it was a flop.
I'll give you all the change in my pocket if you can name his next movie that he made after
a lot of change.
coming out of nowhere to making he won Best Actor at the Oscar for that movie.
Yeah, for that.
And his next movie, because he directs his movies as well. Do you know what it was?
No.
Pinocchio.
The live action one?
No, it was way before that. And it was. Did anybody see Pinocchio? No, you didn't. Go back. Go ahead. Pull it up right now. It's when you just look at the pictures, you'll go, "Oh no!"
Oh,
that was your follow up. But yeah,
was it supported by, or was it like an Italian company?
Yeah, it's the same people that he made his one with. Yeah, it
was
like
the same
their next
distributor though.
I don't know.
1971.
No,
or what year was
no,
this?
that was 19. Life is Beautiful was made in 1970.
This is an X-rated.
1997.
This is an X-rated Pinocchio.
Yeah, there's you can run into him, but no, same back.
that's Pornocchio.
Pinocchio.
Yeah,
That's when you know you've made it. I've had fan art of me, but they were actually doing the person I was in the scene with. But I take credit because I did get drawn.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, if you get someone to make a porn after one of your movies, so there's always
Almost famous.
Almost famous.
You're not there yet.
Well, I mean, he has an Oscar, so and plus, like, how many years later since Life is Beautiful, and people, if you were to mention that film, they'd remember it.
6th grade.
They'd remember it.
Scarred me.
Yeah.
Super sad.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember growing up. I'm gonna steal your question, Jim.
Do it. We're family.
Yeah.
For family. Are you going Fast and Furious on me? Did you watch the Hobbs and Shaw and not tell me about it?
No.
Okay. The movie that first comes to my mind is watching Spider-Man 1 for the first time. I thought that was the first time it kind of really expanded my imagination to a point where, like, wow, like you can actually like walk on walls. And I didn't ever read comic books growing up, but I did watch the movies and that kind of thing. And then it wasn't until I watched Good Will Hunting for the first time. It was about, I think, 7 years ago when I watched it, and I was like, wow, this is actually like I really love this type of like movies. Like, it's different. It's like I love.
Is there a question in there?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Totally joking.
Like,
everyone, you got to understand, I'm gonna make fun of everything and everyone. That's just what I do.
So anyway, I love Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. That one made Grandpa cry all the time.
So I always bring it up on the show, but it's a classic.
Have you seen Good Will Hunting? Because you're at that age now. That's the weird thing is it used to be everyone's seen Good Will Hunting. Like, you tell people you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, like, you crazy. But now here's the new generation. When I say, have you seen Good Will Hunting?
I don't think you were born.
See what I'm saying? How crazy is that? Like, 20 years old has never seen Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
It's a 1999.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
I had 20 years and I haven't watched it.
You need to watch that one. That one's great.
1999. I was right.
97.
No, even
Oh,
older.
well, still.
So
Yeah.
It's the same year as Life is Beautiful, so
You'll learn,
yeah.
Well, you'll when you see that movie, you'll learn a lot because people will say it was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's come out of nowhere.
film,
They blew up they came out of nowhere, and they just made this. And but here's the funny thing: if you go online, if you know anything about movies, you can see that they've both been making movies for years and years at this point. They neither one of them are just wrote a movie and then they actually, have you ever seen the movie Princess Bride?
Yes.
Do you know who wrote that movie?
Did they write that?
No, they didn't write that movie.
I'm like,
but the guy that wrote The Princess Bride, they paid him $1 million to do a final draft of their film. And so this is stuff they'll never tell you, but that's who finished their movie.
That's the reason why they're.
I'm sure they had a good story because Ben Affleck has shocked me and has made some great films since he. Yeah. Ben Affleck's underrated. I was saying that.
Gone
like,
Girl.
what? What are you talking about?
Gone Girl, Argo.
Yeah, but so he can write. But yeah, they paid Goldberg. What's his now? Blank, and this is terrible. But yeah, they hired a hired gun, and you'll see that all the time. Like they'll say that stuff. Like when I did a movie with Adam Sandler, me and my brothers, all the press clippings, even though all of us at that point we had like 20 films between and yet everyone is like they hired him off the streets of Provo. We're like, we don't even live in Provo.
But
it
sounds good.
It sounds better. That's the
Yeah.
narrative. So as you're coming up, just remember it's okay to lie, and at this stage, it's okay to get sued. You know why?
Yeah, it is.
Why is it okay to get sued at this stage?
Because you learn.
No, it means
There's nothing to take.
means somebody's seen it.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Say there's nothing to go after, right?
Yeah. Are they going to take your PlayStation?
Yeah.
True.
Let them sue you. I always say that to young filmmakers all the time. I'm like, get sued. They're like, well, why? And I'm like, that means
PlayStation.
someone saw it.
Yeah.
That's a great
Somebody
problem to have.
cares.
Do you have any
Yeah.
idea how many clicks you're going to get because you got told to stop?
So we should start trying to
Yes,
get sued in the show.
Get sued. And that brings us to our first sponsor, Kodiak Cakes.
Good old Kodiak Cakes.
Did you bring me any?
I did. I'm still waiting on the next box.
All right. Well, I get some of that one, though.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Kodiak Cakes really is our first sponsor.
Yeah. Good old Kodiak Cakes.
Isn't that professional?
Sponsored muffins
See,
and
look at that.
movies with Kodiak Cakes.
Kodiak Cakes. This is the Talk to Our Guest Kodiak Cake segment.
You can, if you want protein in your pancakes, you get Kodiak Cakes.
There you go. We should do some research on that brand one of these days.
Probably.
You guys ever have it before?
Yeah.
My brother works for them. That's how we got it. Yeah.
What's his name?
Is Steven.
Steven Clark got his drop for the week. There's your drop for the week, Steve.
I want to talk about your movie that we had us watch.
You want to talk movies?
Yeah, let's talk movies.
I guess on a movie podcast, that's acceptable.
So we were challenged to watch 2 movies this week.
Yeah.
One of them I could not find.
It was tricky to find.
Medicine for Melancholy.
Yeah.
I could not find it whatsoever.
And I understand neither of you could find it either.
No.
That's okay. So we'll wait on that another week. I'll share you where I got it from.
Okay, I would appreciate that. And then, but the movie that you challenged us to watch, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. So did you get to check that one out? Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yes. When you guys contacted me, I said I don't think I'm going to have time. Well, I took the time.
So
it was worth it too.
So I won't say anything because I want to be unbiased because this was my pick. Yeah. Go ahead. So why did I pick this film? And does it fit our categorization of underrated? Went under the radar and it shouldn't have.
Taika Waititi is just a gem.
And good pronunciation on his name. That's cool that you nailed it.
Tiki.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
I mean, I can't do it.
Yeah, say that again.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, you're just going to say the names all the time.
So
wow.
The main reason why I know that is because of Marvel movies.
And we've been into him. We've been talking about him.
Yeah, we've done a lot of Taika on this podcast.
This is the second of his films. We also did Hunt for the Wilder People. Have you seen that one?
No.
Did? That's another gem that he made while he was still in New Zealand.
Yeah. So these small New Zealand flicks that he's kind of made are just so funny. Yeah. I would love to see whole, and apparently this was
new
made,
one that's coming out looks awesome too.
Oh yeah, the Jojo Rabbit.
That one.
Yeah, he made that one. So I want to hear before I hear yours.
Yeah,
I want to hear because you guys aren't going to be back. I want to hear what you guys thought of What We Do in the Shadows, and would you have watched it if I didn't say, "Hey, watch this movie"? You
go ahead.
I probably wouldn't have ever heard of that film if it wasn't for you, because I feel like watching it as I was watching it, I was like, this is so underrated. This is underrated.
This is kind of the point of this is what we wanted to do. Is I love movies and I've always done this, and so this is an opportunity. I get to meet people like you guys, and at the same time, I get to talk movies, but I don't want to talk new movies because I can only talk about this much of it. Mm-hmm. But I can go tell you to go watch, and you can give away any spoiler you want right now because
it's the old stuff, right?
Yeah. You can say whatever you want because if they haven't seen it at this point, I told them what we were watching last week. That's their fault.
Yeah, my fault.
So what did you like about it as a filmmaker?
I loved, while watching it, I just thought, is this improv? Because like the dialogue in the script, it flowed so naturally that I was like, I wonder if this is improv. And then I did research on it, and apparently it's scripted.
Yeah,
it's a scripted thing. So
loose.
Yeah,
a loose script.
A loose script. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I thought the performances were great. The comedy, the timing. Have you?
Oh yeah, I was watching it late last night.
Uh-huh.
That was, oh my heavens, Jim.
What did you think, Dan? Hold on,
yeah.
let Dan get in, and then we can gush.
Well, I had seen the series already.
Yeah.
So I watched that.
I started watching the series.
Yeah. So I watched that, and I knew I wanted to see the film. Plus, I wanted to see the actors there too. Yeah. So, it was, you gave me the reason to watch it, and so I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was funny. But I was watching it alone. I need to watch it with a group of people.
Well, I liked how they became aware of themselves to the point where they're all like, he's like, you brought a human to this party. He's like, we brought a whole film crew.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? I brought they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just loved how serious they took it. It's like it could have been like this knockoff, kind of joke around about this, but I loved how it's like, no, the vampires are real.
And imagine if we took a documentary crew and followed them.
They were cool with it, and Taika's a great host up for that. I mean, his character is very just pleasant, and then you get all four of the characters, and then the dude that shows
the werewolves.
Well, the
werewolves.
The werewolves. That scene where they're having the
werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah,
and then he ignites the werewolf inside that.
Breathing.
It's like, look what you did, man! Yeah. Gosh. So
I like when they're changing. They said, "Okay, fellas," he starts walking them through, and it was, "Okay, fellas, take off the clothes you want to keep."
Yeah, right. So your legs get huge. You know this. What are you doing? Is this your first change?
Yes.
So and then when they killed the one dude and he showed up and then he just sucks and I don't I forgot his name.
I like that
Stu.
they weren't.
Stu.
Stu.
That they weren't cool. Like the whole Jermaine Clement part where he was trying to get the guy to see him through the window.
Yeah.
Until he starts smacking the window. See me.
Yeah.
That stuff's just brilliant. And the way they put it together was Tiki and Jermaine. They were just,
close. That was a close.
Tiki, Taki?
Taika.
It don't matter. I'll miss it forever. But the two of them I guess they just basically text each other most of the ideas of the movie. And then, I don't know why, I haven't got used to this new thing yet.
Yeah, an Apple Watch.
I got an Apple Watch, and I can't figure out. Oh, Jared Phillips, he says hi.
Okay, well, tell him he's ruining the show.
Yeah, I'll tell him. It's all right. I'm very professional. So, but anyways, I picked it. The reason why I picked this one is another one of those. And a lot of the ones I'll pick, people are like, either people love it or hate it, and they're like, "Why did you make me watch that film?" Or other people are like, "Thank you for making me." But this is one of those where I'm like, "Just watch it." And they're like, "I don't know, just watch it." And it's
really fun.
I've never heard anyone come back and go, "Not my thing."
My family that is listening to this, I bought it on Vudu, so you can all go and watch it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
It's clean. There's no swearing.
Peter is an underrated character in this movie. The creepy.
Oh dang! I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Peter.
The one that died in the sun.
The one that burned.
Accident.
Yeah.
The old Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
And then I love the beginning of the movie where the dude is like, "Yeah, I was a salesman and I walked up to the creepy house, and then all of a sudden there's this big figure and then it turned me into a vampire. And then it pans over and it was Peter."
Yeah.
We've been friends ever since.
So yeah, I enjoyed it, Jim. I would say probably my favorite of the ones that you've suggested for me to watch so far.
I'll take that.
So
it's obviously your guys' favorite of us.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's definitely your best suggestion and your worst.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
Yeah. Well, you nailed it on both sides on this.
Well, good. Yeah. So the other movie that I'll kind of talk about it just real quick because we'll talk about it more when you can find it. There's an interesting story that goes with it. So this is the movie that was picked last week by our guest
For those that didn't, I'm assuming you guys didn't check out our last episode. We had Matthew.
We're still growing.
Matthew A. Cherry. If you watched Angry Birds 2 in theaters, there's a short in front of that movie. Matthew A. Cherry is the director of that short.
He came on
So he called in last week, and we talked to him for 20 minutes about his short.
He's probably going to be nominated for an Oscar.
I honestly think that it'll be nominated for an Oscar, and I'm pretty sure it has a good chance to win the best short.
But anyways, he came in and he gave us what's the exact wording of it? Melancholy.
Medicine
for Melancholy.
Yeah.
Which is the first film
for Barry Jenkins.
Of Barry Jenkins, and if you know who Barry Jenkins is, either of you?
Yes, I do.
Who's Barry Jenkins?
He did Moonlight and
Bill Street. Bill Street could talk.
Yeah. And so this was like one of his first films he made for no money. I think someone
this was his first feature.
First feature, yeah, like $15,000 is what he made it from, and had his two friends act in it, and it's black and white, but it's a great story of two African Americans in San Francisco, basically have a one night stand, and then they try to decide, because of the whole cliche of one night stand, they try to see if they can make something of it the next day. So they kind of spend the next day after a one night stand, and they
cuddle.
More than they go on an adventure together.
Yeah.
And so the fun thing about this story, when he made this movie, I guess all his friends told him about this other director that he needed to see his movie, that ended up making Whiplash and La La Land and
Damien Chazelle.
So everyone was telling Damien to watch this guy's movie, while everyone was telling him to watch Damien's movie. And then I guess they both went up against each other with La La Land and Moonlight.
Oh.
And when they were talking afterwards, they found out like they were both like, well, how did you hear? I'm like, I saw your first film because you were at the, and like that's how it starts. Like you may all of a sudden like get in some film festival somewhere, and then in 20 years from now, you guys are like holy crap, I didn't even know there was a connection there.
Yeah.
I also like what Matthew told us last week is that like he Barry Jenkins.
Doesn't it sound wrong?
Yeah,
sounds wrong, but it's right.
Yeah. I was thinking of Patty Jenkins, and I said Barry Jenkins, and it just like threw me off for a second. But he was his like his first idol of a director when he's like, oh, it's a guy that looks like me making movies.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of it was cool to kind of get. But for you, I didn't see the movie, but I've seen other things that Barry Jenkins has done, and it was kind of cool to.
He makes a dark. I mean, I don't want to say dark thing.
Real.
That's wrong, but it's real and it's heavy, and it's you gotta like Moonlight. I love that film, but I don't know if I'm in a hurry to go watch it again.
I have it. I bought it, but you're right. I saw it the first time. I was like, I understand why it won, and
But you never know. Like someone like that, they make one and people talk, and then all of a sudden, like for instance, I get next week go talk to Billy Zane. Do you know who Billy Zane is?
No.
Billy Zane's an actor that's going to be at FanX next week, and I know one of his really, really good friends, and I was at the premiere of The Phantom.
What is he known for?
What's Titanic?
Yeah.
I know him best from Titanic.
Titanic. He's the handsome beau in Titanic that.
That wasn't a very nice person.
Well, I got my own
snob.
I got my own review of Titanic. Everyone knows that Titanic is actually about an ornery old woman. That's what that movie's about. And like, I'm not even kidding. If she just would have done what she's told, she would have stayed on the boat. It would have been Jack's, board, his whistle. He would have lived. Instead, she takes his name, tells no one about him. Again, she's selfish, right? Then she comes back and she could pay for all these people's expedition that they've been looking for. But what does she do? She throws it overboard and then dies.
Yeah.
Like it's just a story of a selfish woman that wouldn't listen to good advice.
Yeah, I agree.
That's Titanic.
It's been so long since I've seen Titanic.
Well, you don't need to see it now. I just told you what it's about.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And so anyway,
the boat sinks.
And
Allegedly,
unless you listen to the conspiracists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that.
Wow. Yeah, there's an actual conspiracy theory that the next one in line, there's all these vintage numbers, whatever, that they sank that one so that they could get the money from the Titanic, the insurance money.
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah, I'm glad I took time to talk about
iceberg.
that.
Yeah.
This is the Titanic talk.
Titanic talk with Jim Smooth.
But yeah, so I really enjoyed What We Do in the Shadows.
Good.
I kind of want to talk about the movie I saw this week. I went and saw The Farewell.
What's it about?
So it stars Awkwafina. She's
the one that was in that movie that you
liked
that I didn't.
Crazy Rich Asians.
The crazy overrated Asians.
She was the comedic person in Crazy Rich Asians. This movie is very much a international film.
But is this the one? Because you were telling me before that this is the one's going to kick her into stardom. Like the one got her noticed. And this is the one.
I don't. It's hard for I have a hard time determining acting in other languages, because I would say probably 75% of the movies in Chinese, which I thought was. I'm glad I went and saw it in a theater, so I was like kind of focused on the subtitles and reading, because that was my problem with Roma last year, is that I was at home on Netflix and like I was just on my phone the entire time. It was hard for me to actually read.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Roma though?
That's the thing. I was too distracted to actually understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And
long answer, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
We hadn't talked about that.
But
we actually been. This is maybe something you guys can be thinking. I'll ask you guys this later, because we're already almost through the end of the year.
Yeah.
But tell me your favorite films this year. I don't want to put you on the spot, but think about it. If you have one, spurt it up. But really, the list of like if you were going to do a top 5, give me 3 films that you know are going to be nominated for an Oscar. Could you answer that question?
I feel like it's unpredictable. Last year. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that Bohemian Rhapsody, A Star Is Born, like those were going to do good. Now it's like,
what are they going to put in?
I honestly think there's only been 3 that are in consideration right now that are kind of wide release. There's smaller ones like Peanut Butter Falcon.
Have you seen that?
Not yet, but I want to. I've heard that great things
That's
from
on
it.
my list.
I think The Farewell will be up there now. I think
The Irishman.
The Irishman will be another one, but like
that's
the ones that
be really long.
The one that's come out in the first 9
Joker,
months,
but nothing that's come out yet.
Season.
So like, I think Endgame still has a chance for it. I think
the best movie this year has been John Wick 3, and
Yeah,
don't tell me it's not.
Yeah, okay, I'm good with that.
That's true.
I think Rocketman has a chance. I'm pretty sure Rocketman will get nominated, and.
But what else? Like, we're already in.
But we talked about it at the beginning of the year. Remember, we were saying that like maybe 1 or 2 movies gets nominated in the first 4 months of the year, and then you get maybe 2 in the summer, and then the rest of them are just at the end from like September all the way to December.
Like Get Out, that shocked me when it got nominated because it came out so early.
Yeah, exactly.
In the year.
Yeah, it came out in February, and Black Panther last year. Like
I pissed everybody off at Get Out because no one was in the movie theater, so there's just a few of us, and the movie was on for 8-9 minutes, and I leaned over to tell whoever I was with what the movie was going to be about, because I pick them all the time. But the movie theater went completely silent as I basically just gave away the entire plot to the entire, and everyone was ticked off. They're all like, "If that's right, I'm going to kick your ass," is basically what I got told.
Jim,
and I nailed it, and I was like,
Did you sneak out?
No, luckily there wasn't enough people there, and I don't know that they just knew it was me, and I just kind of we cool.
I totally blinked it, and I didn't get to talk about it at all last week, and I'm glad you're bringing up the best movies. I think the movie that will be nominated for sure is Blinded by the Light. I went and saw that last week with my grandma. Went. It's the Bruce Springsteen movie about the Pakistani kid that moved to London, who kind of found Bruce Springsteen. And kind of was a coming of age kind of film. He becomes a writer, and it's a true story. It's awesome. I love it. Has this kind of same feeling of when Bohemian Rhapsody, like a disappointed father and stuff like that.
He's telling me the plot, and I'm all like, "What an interesting, diverse plot." just like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Well,
same plot.
Same
thing.
Not just like it, but it has that kind of thread of like a disappointed father. I mean, they're both. I believe Freddie Mercury is he Pakistani?
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
But
I think that's what they called him in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was a Paki. They call it.
Yeah.
He's definitely from the Persian towns.
Yeah, so that I think Blinded by the Light will be another one. But there's a lot of them that are still coming out.
Yeah, they're still coming out. But I still like. It's hard for us when I'm like talk. What did you like this year? Either of you. What have you seen this year that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, let's see. What do you?
Well, I'm of course the Avengers. I mean, I'm into the junk food of film.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big defender of it, and Jim doesn't like when I say it, but I still think it'll probably be nominated. And
I like them. I just think it's time to not release one every month. I think it's time to pull it back, just like the westerns that went where everything was western, and now nobody makes westerns anymore. I just don't.
I'd like a good western. Again.
I would too.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch?
Buddy cop movies are making a comeback.
Yeah.
Now.
I'll go back and watch 3:10 to Yuma tonight.
What's the Hell or High Water? Did you ever watch that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's a good one. That's a classic, but modern day western.
Yeah,
it stars Chris Pine
and The Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Who is? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. You said his name.
I always use their movie names.
I was like, but there's also never mind. Doesn't matter. But it's awesome. It was nominated for Best Picture 3 years ago.
Ben Foster, isn't it?
Ben Foster. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I remember.
You remember names?
I remember names.
That's pretty good.
It sucks because like people are all like, "Hey man, where were you yesterday? There was a huge murder on your street. Like where were you?" I'm like, man, where?
I don't know.
And they're all
maybe
like,
I'm guilty.
They're all like, "Well, you watched this movie? Oh yeah, and this person was in. And this person was in."
Yeah, that's good.
Everyone's got what they got, I guess.
I hear a lot of buzz for Marriage Story 2. It comes out. It's the Netflix movie with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Buzz is that it's going to win Adam a best leading.
We'll see. You never know.
And like how much of an Adam Driver fan I am, but they're saying that this is the guy has worked so much this year. You can't just go down and count how many movies he's been in.
Doesn't he have another one coming out this year?
Just a big Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's something like that. Yeah.
And
by the way, the poster.
And then are you kidding? Yeah. That D23 poster with the Emperor looking over and just looming. Oh, I'm all in on that.
Which is fun. I mean, the fact that we have the Emperor coming, that kind of
what you have Emperor Palpatine coming.
We do.
What kind of gag order is he on?
His manager was saying that people will come up and say, "Oh, so you're in the film?" And he says, "Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know, but obviously." He's going to be in the film. I mean, I think the latest trailer. I haven't seen the latest trailer, but people are saying that you can actually hear him talking. And
you can.
What I'm wondering though is just because now we have Hayden Christensen coming too.
Yeah.
And I saw a fan theory, or there was a website out there talking about.
I'm all in this conversation now.
Yeah. Well, the theory is that Anakin comes back as a Force ghost.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Have you heard that? Okay.
I've heard. Yeah, I'm a nerd, of course. So I'm like, okay, well, how does that fit in? No, that's not gonna. Yeah, I'm actually because I like Hayden. I think because Glass he was really good in. Jumper was really good. Like, and those are like movies that people wouldn't go see because he was. And everyone gets mad at me for liking the prequels. The new prequels. I'm like, I don't think that they're world busters, but I'm like, they they were made for 12-year-olds, and like if you go back, like some of the best lightsaber. Tell me which fight scenes would you rather watch, from the original 4 through 7 or 4 through 6, or the 1 through 3? Who had the better lightsaber scenes?
Yeah. And graphics,
without question. Yeah. And they got to 4 and they all forgot how to fling around their lightsabers.
Well, it's going to be funny because to go along with that, they just announced the Obi-Wan TV show in D23, and it's going to take place in between 3 and 4, and it makes you wonder if it begs the question if Darth Vader is going to make an appearance in that, because
anything could happen. Well, and so people are pissed off at 8, and I'm like, you haven't seen 9 yet. You don't know. Everyone's like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you don't know. You don't know.
Let it tie up.
It's a middle movie.
It's going to be Jar Jar Binks who's going to come back, right?
He is Darth Sidious.
He's Darth Sidious. That's the theory.
You got Emperor Palpatine and Anakin.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part of the whole reason of the hate of number 8 is that everyone's like, they did Luke so dirty. I was like, if you think about it, if they released every single movie in chronological orders, so like 1, 2, and 3 came out in the 70s. You know who they did dirty? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because if you watch it in chronological order, like it's like, wow, Obi-Wan's a huge deal, and then number 4 he's gone in the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
Dude, so like I'm looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and what's the line? He's like, I wonder if he's talking about old Ben. Like, couldn't be. There's no way.
All right,
wait, let me hurry just one quick fact, because I know this is way back, but so there's an actor who is in the new Star Wars. He's one of my new favorite up-and-comers. His name's Domhnall Gleeson. So he's got the most impressive. You said he's in a lot of stuff right now. That's what triggered this. Okay, so this guy in 1 year he made
he had a big year.
Yeah,
like 3 years ago.
He made Star Wars: The Force Awakens, nominated for Academy Award. He did Brooklyn, nominated for Academy Award. Ex Machina, nominated for Academy Award. He did The Revenant, nominated for an Academy Award. These are the movies that he made in 2014, 2015, and every single one of them there are no other credits in this time frame. Every movie he made was nominated for an Academy Award.
Peter Rabbit was pretty awful.
Well, that was later.
I'm just saying,
I'm talking about this block. That's the most impressive block. I made 4 films, all were nominated for Academy Awards. You can't beat that.
You can't.
That's the best year ever. And everyone's like, who? Well, Domhnall. who? Like, you might have seen his. You don't
remember
know
the guy from. He had a small part in Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
one of the Weasley brothers.
One of the Weasleys.
And that's sad. And that's why and people call me a nerd for liking movies so much and liking these weird dark films. But I'm all like, you should know this guy because in 5 years everyone's gonna know who he is.
Yeah,
because he's really talented.
Yeah, you want to be on the front end of that. Then it looks like you are.
Well, we'll see. Or I just have a useless power. I my other superhero power is I can tell when buses come. Okay. I'm not sure how to use it, if it's for good or for evil yet. But
you're working on.
I'm going to work on.
Okay.
I'm thinking I might use it for evil.
I'm with you because when I saw a film that Timothée Chalamet made, a short film, I saw it and I'm like, this guy's going to be.
You can tell.
This guy's going to be. Yeah, you can just tell.
You can tell.
Oh, just say Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
It's funny how Timothée Chalamet has become like the artistic version of Tom Holland. Like they're both like the same age. They all kind of both look the same, but like Tom Holland is like he does all the superhero things, and Timothée Chalamet is like kind of behind the scenes. And we'll see when Dune comes out. But
right, no, I'm stoked for Dune. Oh my goodness!
And the King came out, the trailer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
the King.
Let's get see when we first started doing this show, he keeps going, okay, we need to get back onto these themes and these topics. I'm like, we rant too much. I'm all, this show's kind of is just us ranting, dude. That's what it is. He's like, yeah, but we need to get back on. And then finally, after 2 or 3 shows, we go, yeah, this is the show. This is we just bring nerds in a room. Sorry, you're both
just
nerds.
talk
and talk. Yeah. Whatever. Then we'll have themes and ideas, but for the most part, it's like let's talk movies and they let us do it.
I want to ask a question real quick. Has there ever been a time where someone's been nominated for multiple acting awards, like supporting actor and lead actor?
I don't. In
the same film?
In the same year.
No, in the same year.
I don't think so, but maybe. Like for one movie, best actor, and for that's
the only reason I bring it up is because I think Brad Pitt has a chance for it this year.
Right,
depends on Ad Astra to see how well that movie's received. But I think he'll probably be nominated for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I've heard a lot of good things from Ad Astra. So I was just curious if that's
I'm not sure. That's a good question. That you stumped me. You stumped me.
It sounds like they should have.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know.
Sounds like it has to have happened. Yeah. Right. That's a total
I want it to have happened.
Is it a rule?
Well, I have a hard time because we'll pick movies that were nominated for Oscar for like the challenge for the week, and people are like, "Oh, I've never seen that." I'm like, "It was just nominated for an Academy Award. That's all." And you haven't seen it. That's the problem with the Academy Awards. Is it's like I think they're brilliant, and I don't love all of them, but I'm like I'll watch them, and then I can bring up Hotel. The Budapest Hotel, and everyone's like, "Well, what is that?" And it's a brilliant.
It actually has happened many times.
Has it?
The last 3, I'll just because there's tons, but Cate Blanchett in 2007.
That sounds right.
Elizabeth, she was the best actress. Elizabeth, the Golden Age, and then best supporting actress. I'm not there. And then Jamie Foxx in 2004, best actor in Ray, and then best supporting actor in Collateral, and then Julianne Moore in best actress in Far From Heaven, and best supporting actress in The Hours. So
rad.
And there's a lot more. So cool.
Right.
Good.
That's
to know.
good nerd talk. All right, so let's move on. Let's finish up some interviews here. So, what are you going to be working on next?
So right now I'm taking a break.
What does a break mean? Is that like you're not you're seeing other people?
No, like a mental, physical break.
Seeing other people.
Because making a film it's a lot.
It is.
Because like you think someone my age would just pick up a DSLR and just film whatever.
What'd you shoot on?
Red.
Okay. Just a regular red or?
I think it's
Epic Dragon.
It's a Dragon.
Okay.
Well, but no, I have to do paperwork for it, and then I have to do location scouting and casting, and it's a lot. For me, it's an 8-month process, and I just finished 2 consecutively. So I'm right now like, okay, I need to step aside a little bit, promote this film that I just finished.
Where can we see it? When can we see it?
It's right now gonna be in its festival mode early next year.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let us know how we can support it, man.
Yeah.
So love that stuff. All right, what are you working on next? Now that this is a big week for you.
It is. That's all I can think about.
Right?
Yeah. So get ready for the event.
So what are you most? Maybe it's a bad question, but it's maybe a brilliant question. What are you most worried about? Like these things have been going off fine. So what are you worried about?
Well, there's always just a worry that will it turn out as well as it should?
Right.
Will the celebrities be happy? Will they go? Because we have such a strong reputation that people feel like.
When's it going to turn on you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. but the celebrities, the fans have supported the celebrities. It's an economic thing for them. If they come to Utah, people know that the fans will buy autographs and photo ops, and they leave with more money than they typically do in other shows. And so we have that reputation, and I hope it continues that way. I'd hate to see some of the celebrities leave thinking, wow, it wasn't very good.
Yeah. Waste of my time.
Yeah, well, that's because I've heard of
Utah.
Some of those. Like I've heard some of those where they're like sketchy and they're like they take off in the middle of it. Like I'm leaving.
Oh yeah. No, that falls apart at other places. Yeah. That's happened quite a bit.
That's why, and I say that kind of jokingly, but seriously at the same time. There's got to be a part of you because it's been well accepted, and even when you first started, people were like, "You're doing what?" And you said, "Just trust me, let me do this," and it went exactly like you said it would. And so now I'm sure there's a part of you going, "At what point is this?"
Well, and I have
when does it catch up?
Really high hopes for it. I mean, I think that we can continue to grow and see it become like one of the very, very top ones.
One of the staples.
Did you expect this to become this way?
I knew that there was good potential. As I attended the other cities, what I realized is they were such fun events, but as I went outside the convention center, ride in the cab or go to a restaurant, people didn't know what was going on there. I mean, even across the street, people wouldn't know what's happening there. And so I knew the secret was to get out there and just really broadcast and market. Right. And my partner, Brian, he was the one that handled the marketing, and he did some things like in Facebook that nobody else had been doing at the time. And it was when Facebook would let you get a lot of power off of just doing a cool post. And he just leveraged that in such a powerful way. That's why we had so much traction initially. And then, after that, we've just been trying to keep, manage to that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool just because even, like I told you, I have fear of big crowds, and so I have a hard time being in them. They just and that's my own personal demons I'm fighting with. But at the same time, like everyone's like, I'm going, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go this year. Like, why not? And I'm like, it's not that I don't want to go. It's just that I don't know for the time what's the event's going to happen. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want a panic attack today.
No.
And since then, I've worked on so I'm actually excited to try this because this is going to be a big step for me in my mental health. Is how I get through FanX next week with no panic attacks. That's what I'm aiming for. None. Otherwise, you'll see me in the corner like, Jim, how you doing? I'm like, not now.
Don't talk
not
to me.
Dad. Not now. Ah! But I think
hopefully not.
I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'll always worry about you, Jim.
I know. That's what you sound like, Grandma now.
I will say this though: it's the friendliest people around.
It really is.
The attendees there are great. I still think of like I think our second show we had Edward James Olmos there, and he was talking about it in the hotel after like the first or second day of the show, and he says, I can't believe this place. He said, the people here are so amazing. Yeah. He said, there's something different, something really unique about this place.
Right.
And he loved it.
No, I hats off to you. So we're proud. I mean, just as a Utahn, and it's weird to me because like I try to build up our local market as well, and everyone's like, well, who are you? I'm nobody. I've just some people know who I am, most people don't. But as a local person that's had some success locally, I like to see other people have success, and it drives me nuts when people rip down others. There's some people in this market that don't have any business helping each other, and there's no reason why anyone should give these people money. There are those people out there, but I've always said FanX, man, I'm happy that it worked, and I'm happy that not only did it work, it's growing to the point where it's a global brand because we have a state that wants to. They don't want you to talk down to them like a lesser state, but then they throw so many stupid laws at us that first even get around it that it's like you realize you're making it harder for us. So when someone actually finds a way to get through it and get some notoriety to the point where you're a global a name globally now, it's not just a local thing, not a national thing. They know who you guys are all over the place. So I think that is just awesome, and I'm glad I finally got to meet you because I felt like I've known you through the years because we know the same people.
Yeah,
and so to finally sit you down, I'm like, he cool, stamp of approval.
It's fun.
But I'm because I am anyone who listens to the show. If I don't like somebody, I don't have any problem telling them.
Oh, he tells me every week. This is the first time. This is the first time he's not told me all week that. Yeah, man, I just really don't like you.
I just don't like you.
Wait, I actually did this morning.
You're my least favorite nephew.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Has there been a guest on air that you?
The guest on air? What?
We love all of our guests.
Yeah. You mean one that I like that I don't like? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's me.
It's you.
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Every week there's one.
Yeah.
Now there's nobody I don't actually. I take that back. There's nobody that I don't like. There's some people I don't understand why I don't understand their model, and it's not been explained to me to a point where I can explain it. Yeah. So how about that? I'll give you that. I don't understand their model. I don't understand what they're doing, and so I choose not to help support.
Ryan Templeman.
Yes, that guy's a jerk. He's Canadian.
He's Canadian. Worst. Let's do some challenges.
Challenges. All right, you got to go first.
Her.
Her?
Her.
You're gonna make me watch
Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin, huh? You're in a Joker mood?
I am actually.
The new trailer dropped today.
Oh yeah. So
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that movie's looking to be just fantastic.
It really does.
But yeah, I like Joaquin Phoenix. He's just one of those like character actors. It's always fun to check.
You know,
out.
I'm a big Spike fan, though, right? Spike Jonze. Do you know who Spike Jonze is?
I don't.
It's okay. It gives you something to look up this week. He's one of my favorites. He also did Being John Malkovich. He did all the really good Beastie Boy
Director
videos.
of Her.
He's fantastic.
So,
all right. See, I got a bunch on here, and I'm not sure which one I want because there's so many like good ones. But I think I'm gonna go safe. I'm gonna go with Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay, that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Same with Her. So
yeah. So we can get away with these ones real easy. We got big Edgar Wright and Spike Jonze.
Perfect.
Excellent.
No buying movies for me this week.
No buying. Your family's like, nothing.
Darn it.
I have to watch Netflix.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's our show.
Yeah, we did it.
We've done it.
We didn't get yelled at.
Yeah, I mean,
so we didn't leave.
Yeah,
so is there anything you guys, last couple seconds, anything you want to, how we can find you? What do we forget?
FanXSaltLake.com, and the dates are September 5th through the 7th next week.
Thursday or Friday? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, excellent.
So
get there early.
Yeah,
don't stand in that line.
Yep.
Yeah, and I applaud you for that because that must be hard to create that. I'm just here promoting Sky Purple, and that's all.
All right, we'll put the link in both of them and this will be up tomorrow, which is I guess today.
Yes. Congratulations for what you've done. That's
man.
That's really impressive. 20-year-old, amazing.
Yeah. Right? Thanks. Don't start smoking crack, dude.
Yeah, don't.
It's bad. Crack is
whack.
whack. Crack is whack.
Yeah.
Emily. No. I was just saying how you're doing. You're being quiet.
You be good? Did we forget anything in there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're good to go.
Wow. Pretty. We started the first time. We didn't.
We ran it.
No edits?
Yeah, we're about hit 1 hour on the dot.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
It's 22 episodes in, and we
I know. I'm getting good at starting this.
just
now.
don't. Let's not jinx it.
I'm going to start smoking crack, so
we
still have something.
It's whack.
We need to have something.
Crack is whack.
We still have to close the show.
I got to get us kicked out of this building before the year's over.
Well, we're almost halfway through.
Yeah.
So
that's rad. So, anyways,
right.
both of you, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks for coming on
you.
short notice. I'm sorry that the doors are locked. They're always locked, but
yeah.
we'll try to have you guys both. Once we get through this, let's have
purpose.
both of you back on. Let's come on when you can talk about something and not worry about
What's coming
festival.
up?
You can just talk. You can come back and talk movies.
All right.
Hit it, Emily. Yeah, it worked.
All right, cool.
All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Come
you.
on.